Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, JV, coming to you live this Friday afternoon. Today is November 15th. It is the middle of the month of November. We are approximately 46 days from the end of the 2024 calendar year, if you can believe that. Just got off work about half an hour ago. I'm about to eat a burrito right now. I'm going to eat a burrito because I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything since 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to get a burrito right now. But anyway, just the topic of discussion and something that I wanted to talk about. It's the collective mental illness that a lot of Americans are suffering through and going through right now. As you guys well know, those of you that have been following my videos for the past several months now, I live in the Bay Area and I work in San Francisco, and every day that I go to work and I come back, I notice there's so much suffering. So many people are suffering out in the street, living in the dumpsters, living on the streets, completely mentally ill. A lot of them are using a lot of drugs. A lot of them are using a lot of other psychedelics to get by, and it's an epidemic. You know, something that I've been seeing now for several years now. Even before I started working there in San Francisco, back in September, I started working there. It's been an absolute struggle to watch so many people that are just having these mental breakdowns, and I don't see how things are going to get better anytime soon. There's a lot of confluence of things that are making this mental illness in this country take place. The proliferation of drugs, of recreational drugs all over the country. The fact that more and more people are becoming homeless due to the fact that the rising costs of rent and mortgages. You know, people just can't afford to live. People can't afford to rent anymore on their own in so many parts of the country, which is basically displacing them. And now they have to live on the streets. The other thing, of course, gentrification. You know, the fact that there's so many foreign investors that are coming to the United States and basically swallowing up all the residential and commercial real estate in this country, which again is forcing many people to leave their places of home. And I think there's also a crisis with a lot of men that are not having relationships with women anymore. I talked about this and recently in one of my videos about how more and more men are becoming loners. They don't have the skill set to be able to approach women and, you know, establish a relationship. There's a lot of things, and just the other weekend, I actually a crazy lady actually pulled a knife on me, if you can believe that. She actually had a knife and basically threatened to stab me on the weekend. And when I was watching her face, I saw in her eyes the illness, the mental illness that I'm talking about. She had a very lost gaze on her eyes. She had a lot of smallpox throughout her face. It was pretty repulsive to watch, to tell you the truth. She wasn't wearing any makeup, and she just had a lot of black spots all over her face. And when I was looking at her eyes, it felt as though I was looking through the eyes of the devil, to tell you the truth. It was very malicious, very ill, an ill person, basically, is what I'm trying to say. A person that doesn't have all of her faculties in place. And I think she encapsulates, and she is a microcosm of so many people that are mentally ill in this country, that are not happy with their lives, that are lonely, that don't have a significant other, that really don't have a purpose in life. And I see that with a lot of Americans. And like I mentioned, I don't think that there is a solution on the horizon. I think that you're going to see more and more people, unfortunately, living under these conditions. And also peer pressure is another reason why so many people are miserable. You know, we basically put materialistic things on a pedestal. We basically value ourselves based on how much money we have, how many houses we have, how many nice cars we're driving, what type of clothing we're wearing. Insignificant things in the grand scheme of things, because at the end of the day, we're all going to die. You know, it's all going to become irrelevant in a couple of decades. In 100 years, everybody on the face of the earth is going to be dead. Think about that for a second. Every single human being on the face of the earth is going to be dead in about 100 years, probably less than that. So you got to ask yourself, you know, what's the point of life? I mean, why are we even here? And so I think a lot of people are miserable, and they're asking themselves that question, and they're just simply going through the motions throughout life without a sense of purpose or direction, just aimlessly, you know, living through life and being consumed by routines. And it's just all of these things, I think, contribute to the mental illness that a lot of Americans are going through. You know, that's just what I've been experiencing recently. I don't know why this motherfucker keeps driving around the parking lot. BayAreaDriving.com. I guess it's a student that's just driving around the parking lot. I guess they're learning how to drive. Anyway, it's just getting on my nerves. But anyway, so that's the way I see it. I think that depression is getting the best of us. I think a lot of us are miserable. And right now, I'm just going to drink myself a beer. I'm going to have a burrito, as I said at the beginning of the video. And I'm on myself. I'm battling with the depression as well. You know, I'm not a perfect human being by any stretch of the imagination. I have a lot of demons that I have to deal with as well. So I speak for myself as well, and for the rest of society. I mean, that's what I see. I don't know about you guys, but here in the Bay Area, and when I go down to Southern California, and when I go to Central California, there's a lot of people that are miserable, that are looking at their cell phones, and it's just it's pretty sad, to tell you the truth. But what are you gonna say? I guess when we die, we'll know what was the purpose of our existence, of our physical existence on this earth. We're gonna figure it out. Why were we here? You know. But so far, until that time, until that happens, we're always going to be asking ourselves the $64 million question. Why are we here? What is the purpose of life? And I know that a lot of people will say, you got to come to Jesus. Well, Jesus was a fucking communist. Jesus was a communist Palestinian person who would never be welcomed in this country by the right-wing evangelical Christians, the white nationalist Christians in this country. They would spit on the face of Jesus Christ, because Jesus was a brown man who was a communist, who hang out with a bunch of bums and homeless people. Okay, so don't give me the answer. Don't give me this answer that Jesus is the way and blah blah blah. It's not. Okay, you guys are a bunch of hypocrites, you Christians, who say that you confess to the Bible and that Jesus is your Lord and Savior, when in reality you would probably spit on his face. If he was walking across the southern border, you probably would kick his ass and send him back to Mexico. You would deport him because he would look brown in your eyes. So don't give me this crap about Jesus as the answer, okay? I don't want to hear it. Anyway, that's just my rant. That's just my vent for this Friday afternoon. Other than that, have a great weekend, guys. I hope everything goes well with your routines, with your lives, and I will catch you on the next video. Thank you very much. I'm about to enjoy my burrito and my beer.